everyone, my name is Studiana Roljana. So in this video, I will presenting my final project about the stakeholder approach to business, society and ethics. So there is the outline. The first outline is what is stake in stakeholder, and the second is what is a stakeholder, and the third is who are business stakeholder, and the fourth is important stakeholder attributes, and the fifth is stakeholder approach, and the last one is three values of the stakeholder. So, do you know what the stakeholder are and who can be a stakeholder? For those of you who learn business may be familiar with the word stakeholder, right? So, now I will discuss more about the stakeholders. What is the stake in a stakeholder? A stake is an interest and or share in undertaking. A stake may be also be claim. A claim is demand for something due or believed to be due. We can see clearly that an owner or shareholder has an interest in ownership of a share of a business. So, for the next discussion is, what is a stakeholder? The stakeholder is an individual or a group that has one or more of the various kinds of the stakes in the organizations. Just as a stakeholder may be affected by the decisions, actions, policies, and a practice of the business in the firm. Therefore, there is an actually two-way interactions or exchange of influence. So, for the next slide is who are business and stakeholders. So, the business stakeholders divided into two. The first one is primary social stakeholders. Primary social stakeholders have a direct stake in the organizations and its success, therefore are most influential. So, the primary social stakeholders include, the first one is shareholders and investors. The second one is employee and managers. The third is customers. And the fourth is local communities. And the last one is suppliers and other business partners. So, for the secondary social stakeholders, may be extremely influential as well, especially in affecting reputations and a public standing. But their stake in organization is a more indirect or derived. So, as you can see in the slide, there is a secondary social stakeholders include, the first one is government and regulators, and the second is civic institutions, and the third is social pressures or activist group, and the fourth is media academic commentators, and the last one, in fifth is third bodies, and the last one is competitors. So, for the next discussions is important stakeholder attributes. How do managers decide which stakeholder deserve their attention? Stakeholders have attributes such as legitimacy, power, and urgency. A typology of a stakeholder has been developed based on these three attributes. The three attributes can help us see how stakeholders may be thought of and analyzed in terms of their characteristics. The first one is legitimacy. Legitimacy refers to perceived validity of appropriateness of stakeholders' claim to a stake. And the second is power. Power refers to the ability or capacity of the stakeholders to produce an effect to get something done that otherwise may not be done. And the third is urgency. Urgency refers to the degree to which the stakeholders claim on the business calls for their business immediate attention or response. Urgency may imply that something is critical, it really needs to get done. So, for the next discussions, there is a stakeholder approach. A major challenge embedded in the stakeholder approach is to determine whether it should be seen primarily as a way to manage better or as a way to treat more ethically those groups known as shareholders. Both of these concerns have sustainability implications. Kenneth Goodpaster has suggested three approaches. The first one is the strategic approach, the multi-fiduciary approach, and then the stakeholder synthesis approach. So, the first one is the strategic approach. The viewers of stakeholders primarily as factors to be taken into considerations and managed while the firm pursues for its shareholders. And the second is the multi-fiduciary approach. views the stakeholders are more than just individuals or a group who can wield the economic or legal power. This view holds that this management has a fiduciary responsibility toward the stakeholder, just as it has this same responsibility toward the stakeholders. And the last one, there is a stakeholder synthesis approach. It's prevalent because it holds that business does have more moral responsibilities to stakeholders, that the way should not be seen as a part fiduciary obligations. So, for the last discussions, there is a three value of the stakeholders model. The stakeholders model of the firm has a three aspects or values that should be appreciated. Also, in related, this include the descriptive, instrumental, and normative values or aspect. So the first one, there is the descriptive value. Descriptive, that is, it provides a language and a concept to describe effectively the corporations or organization in the stakeholders' inclusive terms. The language and the term used in the stakeholder model are useful in helping us understand organizations. And the second is instrumental value. Instrumental value is useful in portraying the relationship between the practice of stakeholder management and the resulting achievement of corporate performance goals. And the last one is normative value. The stakeholders model, it has value because it's normative, wherein the stakeholders are seen as possessing value irrespective of their instrumental use the management. This often consider the moral or ethical view because it emphasizes how stakeholders should be treated. So I think that's all for me. Thank you for attention and thanks for watching this video. I hope you give me more the informative for you. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.